As you all have an enjoyable refreshment period. All right. Let us begin by saying that there once was a girl who was sowing some seeds that then began growing on a nearby hill that gave her her fill of knowing that caused her great glowing. Knowingness. Did you write down the 5 things that you know? Is there anyone who would like to begin sharing? All right. What do you know for sure? Begin. What do you know for certain?
I know that there is a connection to dawn which I cannot, beyond what I can see.
All right. Number 1. Number 2.
Number 2, I know that telepathy and deep nonverbal communication exists within me and some of those people and birds to which I interact.
All right. Number 3.
I know that I am.
All right. Anything else?
Yes. I know that something is happening with regard to manifestations of numbers and names.
All right.
And I don't know.
I did not ask you what you didn't know.
Okay, I do know that. I do know that
All right.
much.
What else do you know?
I know that which I have doubts of become more transparent when interacting with Bashar.
All right. All that said, if that is what you know, all else at this moment is supposition. The idea is to relax the supposition and stay in the state of your knowing and allow whatever needs to reveal itself to you about what you know to simply reveal itself in whatever way it chooses to do so. Because however it does so will then, as you know, be a reflection of that knowing state and will not have to be guessed at for what it is or what it represents or what it reflects to you. When you stick simply, first and foremost, with what you know and take the guesswork out of it and do not ponder what you don't know, you can then be assured, you can then also know that whatever represents itself to you, whatever manifests to you, whatever is reflected to you, will be a product of that knowing state, even if it comes in a form you did not expect or imagine would happen. To drop the expectation sufficiently where you can allow the knowing state to really show you what you need to know, and by elimination, reveal what you don't need to know at that moment, will allow you greater clarity in every moment of your life. Thank you. Next person to share what you know. No. Next person to share what you know.
I'll share.
All right. One second has passed.
Okay. I know I am a talented writer.
All right.
I know I have created a wonderful organization.
All right.
I know I have people who love me in my life.
All right.
I know I am a loving person.
All right.
And I know that I impact many people.
No. Remember what we said about impact.
Can you remind me, please?
Yes. You do impact everyone. This is true. But remember that the idea of what you do doesn't cause the impact. It only reveals it.
Oh, right.
Remember?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
You all already have all the impact you will ever have. What you do by following your joy does not create more impact. It reveals the impact you're already having.
Then I can rephrase that to say I know that I have the realization
Yes.
that I am impact.
It is all right for you to say it the way you said it as long as you realize how it is meant.
Yes.
Structurally.
Yes.
Stay again in those states of knowing. All else that is not revealed in that state does not need to be known at this moment.
Even if I'm getting the reflection back from people that I have impacted them, isn't that true?
That's a revelation of your impact.
Okay.
It is not that the thing you did caused it, the thing you did revealed it, and they are simply reflecting the revelation. We are discussing the difference, which may at times seem to be a fine line, but isn't. We're discussing the difference between falling into the illusion that you need to do something to impact the world and living in the realization that you already all impact the world, and that by following your joy you are simply uncovering and revealing that impact, as opposed to having to do something special in order to cause the impact. So what's being reflected to you is simply the revelation of impact you already have just by the very fact of your existence.
Then I'll rephrase that to say that I know that I'm following my joy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar.
Who else would like to share what they know for certain?
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
After trying this experiment, something interesting came to me. Everything that I thought I knew or know, I could contradict.
Very good.
And
So what
I just,
do you actually know for certain?
for certain that I don't know Jack.
Who's that?
You don't know Jack either.
But I did not ask you what you don't know.
No,
You do know at least the few things we discussed this day. And I said you could use them on your list if you wished to. You do know that you exist.
maybe I'm getting too esoteric, and I probably
Maybe
am.
you are.
But,
Do you know that you exist? Of course you do.
it feels like I do. I think I am.
You do. Because if you can think you do, you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to think that you do. Correct? Do you not see the simple logic?
Yeah, I mean, I do at one level for sure.
There is no other level here. That's the point. And that's where you get too esoteric. You think there are more levels and there's more complexity than there is. There isn't. Do you exist? Yes or no? There is no other answer. And no is not possible as an answer.
Then I'm getting way too esoteric.
Yes.
Yes, I
So
exist.
that's another thing you know.
Touche.
Don't get all French with me.
Oui. Okay. I.
Would you like to
Right,
simply
sorry.
take time to make a new list?
Sure.
Attempting it from a less esoteric place?
I know I have feeling,
All right. You see how simple that is?
and I know I have an experience that I'm becoming more familiar with of this invisibility I spoke
All
about
right.
yesterday.
All right. You see, knowing statements are simple statements. They are not complicated. They are simple statements.
So maybe what it is it's something where I know it for myself, but I can't prove it to anybody else.
That is not a criteria.
Right. And maybe that's what I was thinking.
Because you
What can I
can't prove anything to anyone else anyway.
Anyway, right. Okay.
You can't even prove you exist to anyone else.
I know. That's the discussion I had.
But
at
that's
lunch.
not the question. I only asked you what you knew, not what you felt you had to prove.
Yep.
And that's
Got it.
very revealing.
I got it.
And now you know that about yourself.
I got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let us for a moment shift to the idea of what you may call the regular questions. We will come back to what you know.
Hello, Bashar.
And good day to you.
Greetings. First thing I'm going to do is give you my list. I actually don't have 5 things on my list.
All right.
I only have 3 things.
All right.
I know that I exist.
Yes.
I know what I observe.
Yes.
And I know what I feel.
Yes.
Anything else is just a detail of one of those 3.
That's 4 things.
No, I'm just speculating that last one.
It's still something you know.
I know, I'm kidding.
All right.
Okay, now to the question that I want to ask. You've mentioned the subject of time this weekend several
Yes.
times. And I want to revisit the question that was asked last night about the concept of frequency and the fact that it is a function of time.
Yes.
And I want to get into some more technical detail about that.
All right.
Now, I've been aware for 30 some odd years that our experience of physical reality is a sequential focusing of our attention on a sequence of different universes, if I'm understanding correctly. Very much in the way
In a
that,
sense, yes.
yeah, in the way that motion picture film
Yes.
is a sequence of still frames.
This is, of course, all still an analogy, but it will do as a representative one with regard to the third-dimensional space-time matrix. Yes.
Okay, and I am speaking specifically of
Yes.
physical reality.
Yes, I know.
And within this context, it would mean that within the idea of an infinitude of different universes and different realities and different dimensions is the idea that when we experience movement,
Yes.
what we are actually experiencing is instantaneous shifts from one physical reality, from one dimension, to another one that is very, very close
Yes.
in structure,
Yes.
and going through a whole series of these, just like a series of frames in a motion picture,
Correct.
gives the illusion of motion,
Yes.
and that motion gives the illusion of time.
Yes.
Because we do it at a very deliberate pace for the most part, especially
Yes.
when we have a clock that is measuring this. That movement of the clock really establishes the standard of
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm correct in my understanding that each of these frames of physical reality is essentially static.
Yes.
Okay, and this gets back to the change and no change idea that we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Everything is changed, but there is no change. It's
Correct.
such as- Okay, so each of these physical realities is static.
Yes.
And now let's bring in the idea of frequency.
Yes.
Frequency is vibrations per unit of time.
Yes.
But time is the illusion of motion, which is a shifting from one dimension to the next. And I'm wondering exactly how frequency relates to that shifting from one dimension.
The
to next.
frequency that you create in your consciousness when you create the illusion of time is what determines exactly which frames fall into the slot that give you your sense of continuity. Does that make sense?
I didn't totally get it.
All right. The ideas that you create in your consciousness, the illusion of time, by creating the concept of frequency.
Yeah.
In doing so, once you have created that, it then determines which of the static sequence of parallel realities you actually experience as your continuity of motion. Because let's just say, again, even though I understand there may be shortcomings in third-dimensional language to express this, let's say you choose to operate on a certain frequency within your consciousness.
Okay.
By establishing that frequency, by setting up that illusion of time and frequency, you might choose every third frame, or every second frame, or every fifth frame as your expression of change in space.
Okay.
So the frequency at which you operate determines exactly how you experience the idea of the continuity of motion.
Okay.
Which frames are represented in that sense.
Okay. So would the higher frequency be a skipping of more frames?
Yes.
Okay. But really, there's not really a skipping of frames. It's
No,
just
not really.
that those frames that you're quote unquote skipping just aren't part of that motion picture of your
Correct.
existence. Okay. Now let's get into the idea of frequency of non-physical beings.
Yes.
Because I understand that they also experience or express a frequency.
To some degree, yes.
Okay. But if they are not experiencing or not focused in physical reality,
Yes.
and we've been talking about frequency of progression of attention on frames in physical reality,
Yes.
There
are frames of non-physical reality, too.
okay. So
They are just of a different quality.
different quality. What would distinguish the quality that they experience from the quality we experience?
It would be similar to the analogy, perhaps, of having double exposures in each frame. So that you can actually focus on one thing or another in any frame. It's not quite so structured, not quite so limited.
Okay, let me bring into this discussion another technological analogy.
Yes.
Our motion picture frame is, our motion picture film is a series of frames connected together in a sequence, and you can actually cut these.
Yes.
But we have now nonlinear editing,
Yes.
an electronic thing, where you can put the frames together in any way you want.
Yes.
And almost set it to go random, and it'll pick frames.
Yes, and this is also a quality of the frames in non-physical reality.
Okay, this is what I'm thinking. What you're describing sounds to me like the nonlinear editing
Yes.
approach. as
So you
opposed
could
to-
say physical reality is more linear based and non-physical reality is more non-linear based, even though they're both using frames.
Okay, so then getting back to the concept of frequency,
Yes.
both physicals and non-physicals experience or express the idea of frequency.
Yes.
The non-physicals at the higher frequency,
Yes.
I'm getting the idea that means that they are, does it mean that they are experiencing the frames of reality at a higher rate?
It doesn't always mean that, although they can.
Okay.
What it really is more like is the concept of high definition that now exists in your reality. There's more information per frame that they can access.
Okay, and I'm getting that they can probably look at a lot of different frames at the same time.
Yes.
Okay,
Which
because-
constitutes the idea of double exposed frames or multiply exposed frames.
Yeah.
From their point of view.
Okay, I was thinking more like a bank of television sets, but I see how the
Any
bank-
analogy will work.
Okay,
Yes.
I gotcha. Even then, it still implies that there's some kind of the fact that there's a sequentialness to it
Yes.
implies that there's kind of a fundamental idea of time that doesn't necessarily, or rather,
Yes,
is
I know
not,
where you're going.
is not rigid for the non-physicals, but
Yes.
more rigid for the physicals.
Yes. Remember that. anything aside from the one must experience some degree of what you're talking about, or it wouldn't be represented as different from the one.
Thank you. That totally clarifies that whole thing.
It's just a matter of degree.
Yeah, okay. And in physical reality, at least in our physical reality at this point in time,
Yes.
our time is highly structured
Yes.
and very standardized, except for people who are wafting out of it
Yes.
and back into it and that kind of
That's what the idea of the increase of your frequency is all about, is you're starting to exist in that quasi-planar reality that is shifting dimensionalities and gives you more access to more information per frame.
thing. Okay. Now, relating this to your experience in your reality,
Yes.
I understand that you move around. You may walk from your control chair to the doorway of your spacecraft, so you are experiencing time also.
To some degree, yes. Although we have more facility with allowing it to be more flexible. Yes.
I understand, but if you are actually walking from your chair to the door,
Yes.
that is an experience of time.
Yes.
And although in the next instant you may be down on the surface of your planet,
Yes.
and then back up
Yes.
2 instants later,
Yes.
there is the sense of time in that there's actual movement and you can observe movement.
Yes.
People walking around on your planet.
We understand it enough to be able to relate to your sense of time, yes.
Okay.
And it is a realm that we ourselves have, at least to some degree, also come up through. We were, in that sense, more structured in the beginning of our evolution than we are now.
Were you ever as structured or at least standardized in your experience of time as we are?
No.
Okay.
We were created to be less standardized to begin with.
Gotcha. Okay. I believe that answers my question in its entirety.
Thank you.
Thank you.